Hello, this is Kevin the Pooley Boy here with another release feature update. So today I'm going to be talking about the 3.0.1 release where we introduced a new tool to the app called the Calcite Saturation Index, otherwise known as the CSI Index. Now, this index is very helpful for pool owners because it tells you how susceptible the walls are of your pool to etching, pitting, or on the other end of the spectrum, scaling. Let's show a little bit of how it works. Right now, these are the inputs to the equation that calculates the CSI, and you want to enter in these values. Now, if you have an SWG pool, there's a small part of the equation that accounts for total dissolved solids. And SWG pools have high amounts of total dissolved solids because salt is a solid that's dissolved in your pool. And so those are like above 3,000, but anything below 1,000, which is for most other pools that aren't salt pools, this doesn't even take into account. And CYA is also on that. If you don't have a pool that's using stabilizer, then you might, and all outdoor pools should have some amount of stabilizer. But you can see how that has a minor effect on this. Now let's get it to a point where maybe it's high, and pH is the one that has if we go down to like 7.1, that'll show how, okay, now we're less than negative 0.3, and that means that we're going to have some sort of instability in the water where the water is going to start to corrode and pit the surfaces of your pool. Nobody wants that. So what you want to do is you want to raise some of these other values. So alkalinity will help raise your pH, especially if you're putting your jets on or putting air into the water. The best way to raise your pH. Also calcium. Adding calcium is something that I didn't realize until building this feature, and I was kind of new to the calcite saturation index, but my calcium in my pool was just too low. I was keeping it at like 180, and it should be closer to 300 to be honest, to be a lower index. But you get the idea here. Now you don't have to come into this tool to use it. It's built right into your water testing. So you can just go here and adjust your things, and you can see the calcite saturation index will go up and down with the values. So you can also toggle this off from test preferences. You can go in here and you can change your tests and turn off it's up here, calcite saturation index if you want, and then I'll remove it. But it's a good thing to keep in mind. So let's try to get it to where we're going to see a warning or something on it, and that we'll try to be balanced on everything but still be unbalanced on CSI. So now we've gone to values that cause a lower CSI. So if we go to save the test, you'll see here, and I think calcium hardness here. Pool user, thank you for pointing it out. This is this is total hardness, not calcium hardness, which show total hardness here, but this should reflect TH, not CH. And I'll talk about that in the next release when I update that to be consistent across the board. So if you were to be in here and you're viewing your report, now you see your CSI is a little bit on the low side. So you're going to have directions on how you can increase the CSI. So that's built into the app now. And the other thing that I wanted to mention real quickly is in Ask Pooley, we had a question yesterday that just came in that says, loving the new features, and would be cool if active users of the app could use your new upvote feature, but to help Pooley determine the next enhancements to consider implementing, what better way to crowdsource features and functionality to keep making this the best app ever. Thank you, Buckeye Pool, for that. Just create a new Ask Pool category of enhancements so that we can suggest features, functionality, and we can upvote it. I totally think this is a great idea. I said, if this gets more than 10 upvotes, it shall be done. I just want to see if people will actually start using the upvote feature. So if you want to come in here and you think that's a good idea too, upvote it. I've had other users request things like the LSI index recently, in addition to the CSI index. LSI index is the same thing. It just is based on a table, and you can calculate it by hand. It's not based on the equations, so it's a little bit less accurate. However, some people are more familiar with that. Maybe that should be something we add. Other users have requested being able to copy a link to your test and be able to share that online so that somebody can go and visit a little page for your particular test for your pool. That'd be useful maybe if you had needing advice. Another feature I've been thinking about for a long time is general pool safety for community pools, hotel pools, Airbnb pools. I think you should be able to use Ask Pooly to see all, or you should be able to use Pooly to see all of those pools on like a pool map, where you go to the map and then you see all these public pools and then what their latest test was, and we could crowdsource those tests so that when you go visit that Airbnb and you'd either have a way to help the next person, or you'd be able to see, what the previous tests were and make sure that it's safe to go in with your family. And we call that like Pool Map. Uh, so other ideas I'd love to hear from the community here, and please shoot them in the Ask Pooly forum. You can always email me directly at support@pooly.app. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching this. Have